I'm sure I've seen him before, I was thinking. I'm sure I recognise this guy. The guy in the frilly shirt and the leather. Well, it was Randy Couture. I remember him when he was a big MMA star. Remember? Along with Georges St. Pierre, remember him? And BJ Penn. BJ. Well, don't laugh, he might hear you. And then it's going to beat you up badly. Yeah, I remember watching UFC at that time. I haven't watched it for a while. Might need to get back into it, but mainly I'm all about boxing these days. But I do remember Randy Couture and thinking, oh, what a name, Randy Couture. Oh, how lovely. You best not say that in his hearing as well, because another one who will beat you up. Now, he is here wearing a frilly shirt and sort of leather jerkin type thing. And he's got an axe. So, this is a film from 2023, not even 1923. Actually, if it was made in 1923, I could probably excuse it a bit more. But it's made in 2023. There's very little to recommend it, except one central, lovely performance. So, the film is called The Bellkeeper. It was directed and edited by Colton Tran and written by Joe Davison. Not much to it. 4 friends who seem to have, or they don't really know, but one of the friends, I won't give you the names, they're interchangeable. One of the friends has a brother. Now, I will tell you his name because he's more important to this film than any of them. He's Liam, and he's played by Reed Miller. Rather a good performance. So, back to the plot, such as it is. They're all going on a road trip to make a documentary, a kind of horror documentary. It's on point, isn't it? You know, they've all got found footage stuff. They've got mates. There's a woman who's kind of more bookwormy, well, sort of school marmy, if you like, and her jock boyfriend. And then there's a more of a sort of flighty, I've got false fingernails woman and her jock boyfriend. That's all you need. And then you've got another woman who is looking for her lost brother, separate to the group. And they're all going to stay in a defunct campsite. Why? Well, one party because it's scary, and one party because it's scary because I might have lost my brother up there. Okay, so they happen to connect with, or this brother, what's he called? He's Gary. And he connects with his brother, who happens to have, and Gary doesn't seem to remember this, happens to have an RV. You know, Winnebago happens to have one of those. So they decide to all decamp to the Winnebago, and they have to take their little brother along with them, Liam, keep forgetting his name, Liam, because he's the only one who can drive, as he says, I have to come along, it's my RV. So they take him along for the ride. They meet some police at a gas station. He meets the girl who's doing the chat with her brother, but they're all going up to this defunct campsite because there is a bell there, and if you ring it, a bloke dressed in a frilly shirt and some kind of leather stuff will come out and kill you. That's what the townspeople are saying. He's real. He's played by Randy Couture, and he happens to be called Hank. Right, he's wearing a frilly shirt, and he's wearing a kind of leather stuff. It's old-style clothing. He doesn't seem like a Hank. He is immortal. One of the reasons why he's there, we find, they ring the bell, and 4 of them are going to get killed by Hank. But there's an interesting wrinkle, folks. No one's listened to the part of the tale in the town which says he's only going to kill you because you're going to turn into a demon. Or as Joe Squash would say, a demon. If you hear the bell. That's what happens. It's in the midst of time. There was some bloke who wanted to become very powerful, so he opened a portal to hell, and he needed virgin blood to be able to open the portal of hell. And one of the people he picked was Hank's daughter. Now, I suspect he wasn't called Hank in the 17th century or 18th century, which is what in flashback it looks like. I don't think very many people were called Hank in those days, were they? I mean, fright me, prove me wrong if you want. I'm open to it, but it's not ideal. So his daughter is claimed by this bloke. His name is mentioned in the film. I could go back and watch it again to find out, but I can't be bothered. So he's now immortal because he tried to fight the bloke who opened the portal to hell. Hank got infected with some kind of hell juice. I don't know what it's called. I mean, some kind of hell juice. Let's not go into it too much. And he's now immortal, and until the bell is destroyed, he needs to kill people who ring the bell because they're becoming demons and he has to kill them. And it's a mercy killing, really. But the people in the townsfolk don't know that. Why Hank does not at any point think, why don't I try and destroy this bell? I don't know. It might well be because he's only around at the time where the bell is rung, from the point the bell is rung, and then he's fairly well busy killing the demons, and then he disappears. Maybe it's that. It's not really explained in the plot. But now he has 4 demons on his hands because those jocks and their main squeezers have become demons because they have rung the bell. Liam and the other woman, can't remember what her name is. It doesn't really matter, does it? No. Anyway, the other woman who puts in a good performance as well, not like Reed Miller, but a good performance, slept the night before with their headphones on, as you do. So they didn't hear the bell, you see. I suspect they could still have heard it, even if they were listening to banging techno. It is a rather sonorous bell. So they aren't demons, and they can therefore, because they are all virgins, and the police chief gets involved, and he's a virgin as well. There's 3 of them, and that's how many virgins the bloke who opened the portal of hell had. Are you following this? There's not really much point if you're not. It doesn't really matter anyway. What I mean is there's no point in following it because it's not really important. However, because there's 3 of them and there were 3 virgins before, they can destroy the bell, and they proceed to do so. There you go, done. And then there's a bit where Hank says, I probably won't see you again. He's probably going to die now, isn't he? And the 3 of them, who work well together, apparently very well together, not really much sense of that in the film, but they're going to form a group. The Bell Ringers. I don't think that's really going to fly. I don't think they did get another film out. I think I know why, having watched it. It's a horror film, this. There are no scares. Not at all. There's dodgy, grey and yellowy green makeup for the demons. One of the actresses has got some stuff coming out of her mouth. So she probably was delighted when she got that. Yeah, it sets me apart from other people. They keep popping up. And at no point am I scared. The best thing about this is that there's some humour. And Randy Couture has some humour as well. Lovely bit where he says to Liam and the other woman, whose name I can't remember, but anyway, you know, stay in this deep freeze while I go out and kill these demons. Then they get out the deep freeze and have an adventure, come back, and you didn't go, did you? Well, they had an adventure. So Randy Couture is all right. You know, he's not going to do a season of Shakespeare or anything like that, or even Orton, for instance, or even Eightborn. Not going to do anything like that. But he's had a good career in the cinema, on TV, and that's fair enough. He can deliver a gag. Much better than someone like Jason Statham, who's just in an advert now, where he says, a deal is a deal and cannot be negotiated. And no one said to him, I think it's negotiated, mate. Could you possibly play that back? Weird, isn't it? Anyway, Couture is a better hard man than Statham, but he's got a bit of, he's a bit florid, so it's a bit different. It's not stony-faced, you know. Anyway, on to Reed Miller, who plays Liam with a lovely sense of, I shouldn't be here. I don't really exist anywhere. I'm very small. I get high all the time. I'm no good with girls. It's a lovely moment when he first meets the woman he wants to be with, who very quickly he discovers is a lesbian, so that gets him off the hook. And it's lovely. His internal monologue, which he tells us all the time, is wonderful. Physicality's good, Great performance from him. He made me laugh all the way through it. And with a film like this, that is at a premium. Because let's face it, there's nothing else. Bong! Ask not for whom the bell tolls. Well, you can, and it's this movie. Ta-ta.